Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. So this is Nazia Khan from CEO Club Pakistan and Management Hub. And I'm here with another episode of Coffee with CEO with a very dynamic CEO who makes generators and power generation and then the renewables. Am I right, Zubair Khaliq? So please meet Zubair Khaliq, who is CEO for Multiline Engineering. Welcome to this session, Zubair. How are you? So, good thing about Zubair is that he transformed his company 20 years back, or mashallah, say now the company is really doing great with a very good clientele. So, please tell us about Multilines, Zubair.
So we started, the company is old. It started in the 70s and by my father. My father was a very highly qualified electrical engineer. But what happened was that he was basically working for the armed forces, making telecommunication equipment
For them.
So it was like a single client, big contracts, and he was doing some really fantastic work.
How old you were when you joined the business?
So I came back and I started trying. I learned a lot. Initial few years were very, very difficult. And I realized that I can't work for a single client anymore. I can't work on these big contracts. So I wanted to do something, just make there are multiple clients. And whatever I do, I knew that, I had to do something which had a wide appeal and I could sell it to anyone. So I settled with generators, started very small, used to get engines from Miller tractors and alternators from Siemens and started assembling a few and then started finding clients. Then fortunately load shedding started.
Okay.
And we started selling a lot. And then we made an organization with good after sales support and people started buying, and it was just word of mouth.
Or might be trust. Trust
and word of mouth and references, and it went on.
So what I'm imagining when I go 2 decades back as a young boy coming from America, take hold of his father's business that was suffering that time. So now, mashallah, you're doing well in your business. So every story have two aspects, pain and pride. Tell us the pain points when you started the business.
See, that's how you learn, actually. That's what I see now. If I had come into a company which was doing well, I would just, I wouldn't have learned
that much
what I did now. So when I came in, everything was going wrong. So we had legal issues, we had bank issues, we had
technical issues, infrastructure issues,
everything.
How?
So in order to resolve those things, I worked a lot. I had, went through a lot of tough times for almost 5 years of really, really hard time. But that learning really paid off.
Later in life.
Yeah, because, you're not afraid of anything anymore. So legal things and, working with banks, you learn those things at a very young age.
If you look back, what are the 2 key learnings you have driven from your past experiences? Or which could be helpful for the new comers?
See, one thing that's that happened to me, which really, I think, made a big difference, was going to America. After my FSC, I did my FSC. I went to join UET as in engineering and University of Engineering in Lahore. And then, in a few months, I decided to go to America. It's a long discussion why it happened. But
you wanted or your parents wanted?
No, parents were. I mean, I had decided.
Okay.
And they were supportive.
So it was you.
It was me, and I wanted to go to America, and I went. And it's very different from from the people who are going to America now or England now, because at that time, when you went, you really went. It wasn't like, WhatsApp.
There were no connection, there were no WhatsApp, no video calls.
Not like a WhatsApp every few minutes. There was there was one phone call every Sunday.
Oh, cute.
And they didn't know exactly what I was doing. I didn't know anything.
Then what's happening over here?
Completely cut off. And you have to learn to survive. So I went to a university in the South. I went to Virginia Tech, a great school, but completely isolated. And, I used to travel. I've driven cross country in America like 3 times at that time. My parents didn't know where I was working, what I was doing. I had to. So you learn to survive. So that was one of the best experiences. And the second one was the crisis that Multiline was facing when I came back. So usse I learned a lot. So these were 2 main.
And you didn't make those mistakes again then? I hope so.
Well, try not.
Tell us more about your portfolio, about your company's portfolio, and then your clientele portfolio.
Company, we do diesel generators.
Okay.
Diesel generators engines are imported, alternators are imported. We have a factory or fabrication facility where we put them together. We make canopies, we make control panels, we make synchronization panels if required. So we assemble them, then we install them, and then we do the maintenance contracts for them. And then we take care of our clients for a very long time. And then we have the other division, which is renewables, which we formed about 6 years ago. So that is taking care of solar panels. And we are also doing electric vehicle charging, EV charging. And we really want to expand that now. We're doing very well. We're working with Audi. And
okay.
A lot of Audi e-trons are coming in. And
so they cannot drive it if you're not there, nah?
Well, they can, but we have. Yeah.
So, okay, now you tell me how important you think HR is for running a company.
HR,
yes.
Well, HR is very important, but for example, my company does not have a very proper HR manager.
Acha. Okay, so that's a drawback.
It is a drawback. But HR is something that I personally take care of. Oh. And I believe that
is your department.
See, the company has to be like an organism. It has to function together. And I think CEO is the main person who should be involved with HR. It's one of the main responsibilities. Everybody should be motivated one way or another. Everyone should have a motivation. If the company is getting some new business, everybody should be happy because they know that it's going to be shared. And there has to be a sharing formula with everyone, whether they are partners or they are employees or anyone.
So it is very obvious that you are into mentoring and coaching your company employees too?
You have to do that because that's the most important thing I do. And that's mostly all I do now. Hire a person, tell them what to do, get some motivation for them, make sure that their needs are taken care of. And, if employees are unhappy, the company is never going to do well. If, I see a lot of people, the older school of thought is that, employees are there to work for you.
And that's all.
And that's all, It doesn't work like that. Employees have to be happy. If I find out that, one of my managers, his wife has to go to a hospital, she's a doctor, and she doesn't have a car. If he brings the car, then she doesn't have a car. So it has to, that arrangement has to be made so that the person is taken care of. Otherwise, he cannot pay complete attention to what he's doing and nothing will really work out.
So we were talking about your portfolio and then I asked you about your clientele. When you joined your dad's business, it was dependent to one client. And then you made your platter big. How you did that? What were the problems over there? Or up when you are having so many others as well. You are having telecoms, you are having private parties, as in your customers too. So how it is now? The problems were then and now when you are having a big platter, the plus and minus both.
Well, the clients are, it's a blessing that we have so many clients and the same clients buy so many things. There are clients we sold a generator to like 20 years ago or 15 years ago.
Now you're servicing them.
Now we're servicing them. Now they're buying solar panels from us. Some of them buy an EV charger from us. They know us. They trust us. So it's very nice. It's like a, a lot of companies are our clients, a lot of individuals. I know them, some of them personally.
So it's all good. Because it's building your business, na?
It's all good.
Okay, now you tell me, what are the 3 qualities a CEO must have? You think a CEO must have?
I think that's a trick question. Compassion.
वो तो इनबिल्ट होता है या बन जाता है?
नहीं कंपैशन नहीं होता लोगों में, वो बड़ा
नहीं होता ना, तो वो हम ला सकते हैं.
Compassion ला भी सकते हैं, but अगर हो, if they have so you have to feel for people, you have to know what they are going through.
Yes.
And you can't be like me against them kind of attitude.
So compassion, number 1.
The other thing is you have to feel for the customer, for the client. You have to understand that if somebody calls you and says that
this is the problem,
our generator is not working or the solar panels are not working, and we have this somebody coming to our house in the evening, and it's very important for us. You have to think like it's your own
job, or it's your own self.
Own generator not working, and same thing. If you're going through the same scenario, how will you feel? So this is, you have to take it very personally.
Customer care, you can say, the very, very high quality customer care. Compassion, high quality customer care. Number 3.
Number 3 is, I think I don't have I don't have a degree in management, but I read a lot. So there's this guy named Peter Drucker.
Yes.
You know Peter Drucker, right? So Peter Drucker he gave this statement, which is, I think, one of the bases that I've always used to run the company, is that he says that the only purpose of a company is to make clients and to serve clients and retain clients. Money will come as a byproduct. If you start thinking about money coming in a business, it becomes a problem. If every transaction you start measuring every transaction, it becomes a big problem. So you have to just think that you have to serve the client, you have to do your best, and money will come as a byproduct. If it doesn't come from that very transaction, it will come later. But if there is a dissatisfied client,
there is no way out. Define leadership now. What is leadership to Zubair Khaliq?
You have to, present yourself as a person that people look up to.
Appreciate.
If yourself, you have things which are very shady and suspicious, then people will, even if they come to you and they, in front of you, they may behave properly, but as soon as they go out, they will say things about you. So anything you do is people are looking at you in every way, in all parts of your life. So if you lie or cheat, or if I'm in a business where I have to do something shady, and everybody in my organization knows that doing that, so there'll be no respect.
There will be no respect.
So the leadership will not really work out. So I think it's very important to be
the real you and a good leader.
Yeah, to try to be
a good person too.
Someone that people can look up to.
So how do you want to improve as a leader? Koi aisi cheez which you think I need to work on it? Team building, communication, more technical skills. What do you think?
I can I try to do things which are, like, for example, in our office we encourage people to, after hours, we have a badminton night.
Okay.
We have a cricket thing, that we have a proper place that, not very proper, but people can easily play cricket there. So we try to encourage that. I try to do something, some sports every day.
Every day?
I play tennis on a regular basis.
Every day?
Almost every day.
Okay.
4 or 5 days a week. So I encourage that. I want to do that more, because people, if they feel good, if they are fit, they are healthy, they will perform much better. So that's one area that we can improve upon. And then well-being of people. Sometimes we can't do enough. I know that they have these needs, and sometimes we can't fulfill them because of the economic situations. So those are the few things which we can improve. Definitely.
Zubair, you made Multilines a success in 2 decades. What do you think are the 2 or 3 major reasons because of which Multiline is here today?
It's all about customers. If you can,
customers.
If you can find good clients, you can give them what they want, and have the products which are authentic and which are what sell them exactly what you promise them, and they'll keep coming back to you. They'll pay even look at Al Fatah, look at the last.
So many Shan foods, Shan masalas, or khadi.
Look at khadi. So that's the only formula. There's nothing hidden. There's no
rocket science or some secret recipe.
Just give them. You cheat them once, and they'll eventually find out, and they will. If you do something wrong with a client, they will go and tell 20 people. If you do something right with the client, they may tell
1 or 2 maximum.
Maybe 3 people, but if you do something wrong, it'll definitely.
So it's out in the market.
Yeah. So don't sell them something which is not appropriate, or which is not what you promised, and that's all.
Where do you see Multilines 5 years down the road?
I don't know.
That's a very good answer, by the way. Acha, bilkul you don't know. You want to?
No. We want to get more into renewables.
Acha.
We want to definitely expand more there, and we want to get into electric mobility, which
you mentioned.
Which I mentioned, and which you said that you don't know.
I don't know much more about the cars and automobiles.
No. I am a strong believer that Pakistan has a big problem right now.
Acha.
They import oil. You know what's going on with the subsidy.
Yes.
We're giving almost 2.5 billion rupees a day subsidy on fuel right now, on petrol for our vehicles and motorcycles and everything. The same things they should be running on electricity. I'm a big fan of electric cars, electric bikes, electric tractors, electric everything, because we don't have oil. We have to import it. Electricity we can produce through solar. We can produce it through dams. We have our own electricity source. We have to stop importing oil. Other than for very critical needs such as airplanes and large trucks and everything. But for normal mobility, for motorbikes, there is absolutely no.
And apart, it's going to be a different world in next 20 years, I guess.
You go to China. I was in Shenzhen in 2018 or 19, I think. And you don't see any petrol bikes anymore. Everybody has an electric bike. They plug it in.
And then they charge.
And they go their way. And
easy on economy too, no? Easy on economy too.
It's very economical. There's no maintenance, and in the long term, we need to start. I think India is working a lot on this. They have this proper mission to get out of oil.
Yes.
So if we can get out of oil in the next 10 years, the last government had a good initiative. They reduced import duties on electric cars. They started promoting them, and then then so many other things happen that they lose concentration. But this is something that people need to really concentrate on.
So whenever we talk about Pakistan economy, it's all about to increase exports and reduce imports. You are the importer, na?
This is reducing imports. The oil thing is definitely reducing.
No. I'm talking about your now generator, na? Because you are an importer. So फिर do you have any plans कि कुछ हमारा यहाँ पे क्या local assembly या local manufacturing में कुछ हो सकता है?
Unfortunately, the engines are very the numbers are not there. I mean, for example, 100 kVA का जो genset है, we don't have enough numbers to start producing locally.
Okay. What do you mean by numbers?
Numbers, like Pakistan is not a big enough market.
Okay. All right. So it's
India is a big market, for example. They produce their engines locally. Pakistan ke liye, it's very difficult to produce a 100 kVA engine, reliable engine, and then only sell a few thousand. It has to be a lot more than that.
So the numbers are not feasible for us.
Not there.
So there is no point of manufacturing.
Not everything. Maybe some sizes. People are doing it. Companies like Miller Tractors, they are doing it. They're making engines. They're making reasonable engines. But in that particular size, there are numbers, but in the bigger ones, the numbers are not there to make them locally.
So by being importer, this political instability will be bringing lots of discomfort to your business.
It is.
Dollar going up, dollar coming down, no down. It's all the time going up. So how you're dealing with it?
I don't know how to deal with it, but we have contracts in rupees mostly.
And contracts in rupees, okay.
And we have to deliver. And when the time passes and the dollar rises, it's a nightmare. It's a big problem right now. It wasn't like this a few years ago. There was stability, so we have to seriously start thinking about it.
Now you tell us how Pakistan could be a better country, because you're importing, you're dealing with so many dealers outside Pakistan. You look into economy of so many other countries as well. So what do you think? What can make Pakistan a better country?
देखिए मैं तो अपनी चीज़ों का ही कह सकता हूँ मुझे पॉलिटिकल और ये वो आई एम नॉट दैट
कॉर्पोरेट साइड बिजनेस
सेक्टर में देखिए मैंने आपको जैसे कहा है कि ये जो इलेक्ट्रिक इसको अगर हम पूरे एरिया को आई विल गिव यू एन एग्जांपल अ फ्यू इयर्स अगो जो गांव में ट्यूबवेल्स जो है ना दे यूज्ड टू रन using something called they call it Peter engine.
Peter engine.
Yeah, it's actually Lister Peter, but Peter engine.
Peter, they call it Peter, okay.
Peter engine. So Peter engine होता था, and Peter engine को लोग उसमें डीजल डालते थे, and
और ट्यूबवेल चला देते थे और ठक 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 आवाजें आती.
Now you go to villages, every village is running the water pumps on solar panels because it.
So means no sound as well.
Yeah. No sound is not the problem.
Okay,
not a problem in the village, but the main thing is that we have a lot of solar energy available. We have a lot of solar irradiation, as they call it, in Europe and stuff. It's not that way. There are so many cloudy days. Here there are not so many cloudy days at all. So we can easily start producing a lot of electricity and start running our transport on it. And oil is a big part of our import.
Yes, it is.
And if we can reduce it significantly, that'll really make a big difference. I think if there's one thing I can say,
this needs to be focused by government too, na?
Government has to focus on this because without government it doesn't happen. Legislation has to be there. I mean, for example, you can say that in the cities you can only ride e-bikes. You can't have a normal bike in cities anymore. It won't be a disaster. It'll happen. It'll start. I mean, we used to have these 2-stroke rickshaws, and we used to have all these smoke emitting ये जो vans होती थी and stuff. It all went away because the government said no. खत्म करें इन्हें. So they did it.
And it's all for betterment. अब कितना अच्छा लगता है ना? Yeah. So now short question, Zubair. So how do you do this work-life balance? और all the time family is complaining कि आप होते नहीं हैं and stuff.
नहीं मेरा ऐसा नहीं है.
ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है.
नहीं, I wake up early. That's one key. I am in the office around 9. I'm an early person. I'm not an early person, but I try to be
an early riser.
An early riser and
you play sports daily, na?
Yeah,
so you have to manage that too.
I like to leave the office around 4:30 or maximum 5 o'clock.
Okay. So
I'm not a big workaholic or extremely tied up all the time with work. It's not like that.
ठीक है. Okay. So how do you manage stress, Zubair? अब तो dollar going up and so many other problems. क्या करते हैं?
Start, go out and in 43 degrees sun and start playing tennis and
you do that?
There'll be no stress. I do that.
Okay. All right. So what is success to Zubair Khaliq?
Success, I mean, monetary success is definitely important, but the other aspect of when people are happy, when somebody calls you or you meet someone and they tell you something good about your organization or your people, it happens to me. Sometimes I go and I have no idea, and when they find out that I have this company, they tell me कि हमने आपसे ये चीज़ लगवाई and it was such a great experience. It happened the other day. I'm not going to give you details. So that makes me very happy. Then some of our employees, when they prosper, when I see them
Doing well.
Traveling, doing well, going abroad on assignments and seeing countries, and so it's good. It's a great experience, and we have most of our people have been with me for some of them for more than 20 years.
Ooh, from the start. That means
you've been to our office. We have this board where we have people who have been with us more than 10 years.
Mashallah.
I think there are more than 50 of them now.
Mashallah, okay. So, that's a success. That's the success for Multiline.
It's a good thing. They consider us a good employer, and we consider them family.
What is happiness to Zubair Khaliq?
Happiness?
Yes.
इतना बड़ा question
है ना इतना मुश्किल सवाल क्योंकि people usually do confuse success and happiness together ना
नहीं there's no success and happiness
is not it's totally a different question. So what is happiness to you, Zubair Khaliq?
Happiness to me, happiness is a lot has to do with your family life. A lot has to do with your children, family life, parents, your social interaction. So Lahore is a great place for me.
It is.
Yeah, I would be very bored anywhere else.
So happiness about family is about family.
It's family, friends, people we like. We see them, we sit together, we have conversations, we go out for dinners. That's pretty good.
Your favorite food?
Favorite food? Something uncomplicated. I don't like buffets. I don't like big meals. Something uncomplicated, like
simple,
like a really nice sandwich or pasta, or desi ke andar, something which is not overcooked. जैसे होता नहीं वो जो
you prefer simple food, ना?
I don't like बहुत ज़्यादा overdone.
Bike or cars?
Cars.
Bike or cars. Okay. So your travel destinations on your hit list. Where do you want to go?
Where I haven't been.
Or where you want to go?
Europe is number one destination for me. If I have a choice, I would just go to Europe because America I like. I think for living it's okay. For education it's great, but for tourism I wouldn't want to go to America. And Europe is it, and otherwise it's Far East is very good. Thailand is very good.
You don't miss US?
Good value for money.
You don't miss US?
I don't miss US because
it's over now in your life, huh?
No, I go there. I go there. I have my very close family in America. My mamus in New Jersey and LA, and I go there. But US is not a touristic destination. It's very difficult to go from. If you have a lot of time, maybe you can.
Then your message of hope and optimism for youth.
Hope and optimism. I think this is a great time because see, with all the internet and everything that is available to us, we don't need like really complicated schooling. Or at the time when we were growing up, if you didn't go to America, you could not become a very good engineer maybe, but it's not like that anymore. There is so much available online right now. You can become a programmer, you can become anything actually. I mean, I meet so many people who have learned to code and program like really complicated things just through the internet.
Oh.
So this is a great thing happening, and I think people can take advantage of that. My 10-year-old nephew the other day showed me something in software which he had done. It was just amazing.
So this generation is having the platform.
They have the platform. They can use it rather than using laptops to watch Netflix all the time. They can if they want to learn a skill, anything, it's available.
It's there.
It's there. And really good quality education can be obtained from that. You don't have to go to very expensive. If you can't, forget about the experience, but otherwise you can learn a lot from what is available online right now.
So thank you so much, Zubair. It was lovely having you here. We learned a lot from you. Two things which I would like to mention is I think in your success and in Multiline success, number one top priority was your customer care. That you do extreme customer care and you go beyond your...
Right.
Yeah. You tried. And number two, which I've learned from you, is your compassion, the way you feel for others, the way you feel for your employees, the way, again, you feel for your customers. So...
At least I think I do. I try
okay. You think you do, but it's very obvious in you. So thank you for coming over and for giving us this opportunity to have you in this Coffee with CEO session. और अगर आप लोगों के पास भी कोई success story ऐसी है, तो please get back to us. Thank you so much.